Now to our other top story of the day and into the weekend. The government shutdown just got even more real for millions of U.S. travelers. Today, airlines started canceling hundreds of flights at 40 airports, including SFO and Oakland, in compliance with the FAA's orders. So the goal is to reduce the strain on air traffic controllers working unpaid during this shutdown. So the number of canceled flights will increase gradually over the next week. Today, it's at 4%. By next Friday, that's expected to rise to 10%, if not more. This morning, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy said that if the government is still shut down, the number could jump to 20%. He explains what factors went into the decision.
We see more incursions on tarmacs throughout the country. And we have more complaints from pilots about stress from air traffic controllers and more complaints about the lack of responsiveness from controllers. So that data is going in the wrong direction, not in the right direction.
Duffy also said that international flights will not be impacted by reductions. So this is all ramping up less than 3 weeks before Thanksgiving and the start of the holiday travel season. What timing? We've got team coverage across the Bay Area on how the cuts are creating a crunch for travelers. Let's start with Brad Hamilton, who found some pretty stressed out travelers at SFO. Hey, Brad.
Yes, Juliet, unfortunately, the madness has begun here at SFO. Delayed flights, canceled flights, even a ground stop led to plenty of frustration and confusion here. And as the shutdown continues, it appears so do days like this at the airport. Now, this all started, officials say, early this morning as they had that ground stop for incoming flights. That happened for about an hour due to a shortage of staffing. By early afternoon, operations here remained strained. As of noon, 47 flights had been canceled, 119 flights had been delayed. Average wait times were around 45 minutes, mostly on those short-haul West Coast routes. Some folks we spoke with didn't know if they'd ever make it back home here to San Francisco. Others were worried about how they would get home after a vacation here.
You know, checking the flights every couple of days, and they kept saying, Friday, Friday. It's all going to explode on Friday. And we're like, we're leaving at 9 a.m. Friday. Are we going to get in the cutoff? And it was totally fine.
Well, they just said we're going back to the gate to put some new people on the plane, which I've never had happen. And then I see there it looks like pilots, and I'm assuming they're taking them here to get onto other planes because they said they had trouble with staffing. We were waiting for one staff person as we left.
If you have some upcoming plans here at SFO, officials are telling people, please check those airliner apps as much as you possibly can to make sure your flight status is correct. And when you get here, get to your gate early. Make sure to check in. Just make sure everything is smooth.
Yeah, hopefully it is smooth. All right, Brad, great advice. Thanks so much. You know, there was less stress for passengers across the Bay, but people still ran into some delays and even cancellations. Lin joining us live from Oakland now with more on that. How's it looking there?
Looking pretty good, Juliet. Despite the flight disruptions, Oakland International looks pretty normal today. Not the kind of chaos we're seeing at other major airports. Check out the big board. The spokesperson says 9 cancellations today and double that in delays. 18 flights running about 30 minutes behind or longer. Many passengers arriving at OAK happy and upbeat. But some dealt with a major headache getting here, including Julia Verga.
We checked in for our flights 24 hours prior. Within 30 minutes, they said that they were canceled and that they would rebook us, but ultimately we just rebooked ourselves, hopped onto another flight, and it seems like most of those flights were getting canceled out of San Diego.
Julia and her friends are meeting others in the Bay Area for an event, an apparently similar experience.
We had a friend who was flying here from LA, their flight got canceled. A friend from Portland, their flight got canceled. Everyone's eventually making it, but yeah, it's been a mission. We have probably like 10 different people coming, and like almost everyone's had a flight get canceled.
Helicopter 77.
The FAA says the flight reductions are about public safety. Air traffic controllers have been working under huge stress.
958 will be ready for departure 1 month.
No pay in a month, and some are now picking up part-time jobs to get by.
Applause to them, you know, for going the extra mile or extra 5 miles.
Renee Rungas experienced a minor delay out of Reno. She's heading to Honolulu this weekend and hopes her flight doesn't get canceled.
A lot of us are very disillusioned with our congressional representatives, wherever they may be from. and whatever a party affiliation, that they're not doing their job.
As for Julia, it wasn't just flight problems. The shutdown has hit her in other ways too.
I have had my EBT, SNAP benefits being used or not accessible and stuff like that, so that was a big part of the government shutdown that affected me as well.
She doesn't fly often, so a bummer. The one trip she took came with a lot of disruptions. She just hopes the return flight plays a smoother tune than the one that got her here.
5 p.m. Sunday, we're hoping for the very best and that nothing changes.
And here's a live look at the TSA security checkpoint. Very light. It's been like this for the most part today. Easy, manageable. Check out the baggage claim area. Again, very little activity. That is Friday light for a lot of folks. I did talk to a TSA agent off camera, and she says she would like to talk on camera to chew out the congressional members, but she will lose her job. She did tell me off camera it's been very tough without pay, and her family is stressing out. We hope them well. So for now, live here in Oakland, I'll send it back to you, Julie.
Yeah, Da, you wonder if people just automatically canceled their flights to avoid long lines, because that is definitely a quiet Oakland International Airport. But we'll see this weekend and into next week as well. All right. Thanks, Da. Appreciate it.
For sure.
All right, San Jose Mineta Airport was not on the list of airports impacted by the FAA's mandatory flight reductions. We heard from travelers like Angel and his wife Mari, who arrived at SJC. They were originally supposed to land at SFO. They told us about their experience.
It wasn't that crazy. We've seen all over the news and things like that. There's been cancellations, but luckily we didn't get nothing that bad, so it was pretty good.
There was about 4 flights of the day, but only 3 left. They did cancel one coming here. So we were supposed to go to SFO, but we came to San Jose instead.
Meantime, in the nation's capital, senators plan to keep working through the weekend to try and end this shutdown. Today, Senate Republicans rejected the latest offer from Democrats. Minority Leader Chuck Schumer said his party would vote for a funding bill in exchange for a 1-year extension of health care tax credits. The Senate also failed today to pass a bill to pay federal employees working during the shutdown.